You there, Chief? Welcome to the pregame, everybody. 8:50 here on 99 WNRR YouTube channel. Getting ready for the WTF radio show for a Wednesday night. Lots to talk about tonight. I have a story that I'm going to share with everybody. Everybody knows what day it is, and it's something I do all the time. So we'll be taking care of that as well. As Joe comes online, good to see you guys in the chat room as well.
Good evening.
Good evening. What you got there? Blondie.
Where?
A blondie shirt.
Yes, it is pretty much the only thing I have that makes you think of New York City. So, and of course I have my mug.
What's he got cooking?
Yes, that just making the Joe taste so much better.
Yeah, that's what I got myself.
Uh, uh,
Man. Just when I think that I'm getting close to all, getting these interviews out and just like pumping them like left and right, boom, boom, boom. I go into one of my what do you call it? My T drives, my portable T drives. And I go into this one folder and I'm going, oh fuck. There's like about 10 more great ones that I have to put out there. There's about 30 that don't need to be up there, but there's 10 good ones that have to be out there. And I'm like, fuck. It's a lot of fucking work. If I could do 3 every week, and there you go, CJ. Way to go, buddy. That's what I'm talking about. Make the show and the date. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Way to go, CJ. CJ always brings the party. She gonna hurt herself though. That's damaging, man. She's gonna have stretch marks. She could definitely have a problem there over time. Finally, holy bat lag.
I don't see a single problem with this. Yeah.
Yeah, not a problem, but I could see where there could be some back problems later on in life. You got to think of the long term effect.
Eh, eh.
It could easily knock you out. I wonder if she could crush a beer can in those.
No, you don't want that.
Yeah, that steps over the line. You're like, don't hurt him.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
You gotta, yeah, no. Don't don't hurt him, and uh yeah, don't get tattoos on them. It's keep, nothing against tattoos, but just yeah, yeah. Mm.
Unless you want to get like a lollipop stick going up to one. Yeah, we're getting in trouble. We're letting our man thoughts get us in trouble.
Amongst.
Shit. Let's just do it.
How about that Dave Grohl?
Oh boy, what's going to tee off? But we'll address the big thing first.
Yes.
So let me get you bigger in my ears here, and I'm gonna.
That didn't sound perverse, but okay.
Yeah. Everybody, welcome to another WTF radio show and live cast here on 99 WNRR, as we do every year. As I stop to share here, everybody joining us on the YouTube channel at 99 WNRR, and of course, everybody here at 99 WNRR in the chat room with you guys hanging out. Thank you so much. I am Mike.
I am Joe.
And welcome to the program. We got a few things to go over tonight. We'll be talking about more than a couple of things. But first, we're going to do this, and I will try to do this as quickly as I can. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat room for hanging with us tonight. You guys are an absolute blast and great support. Good to see Mr. John Baker in the chat room, Mr. LBC himself. Who knows? Might be part of the fam again. I mean, cool. Of course, this one always goes out to Pat Vet, and you continue to feel better, hon. And everyone else, you guys hanging out and give us the support. Miss Effects, another great job with another great show as always. Love following her. Good job. Right, shut up. Thank you. But being where we broadcast from, and where we grew up, we would be completely devoid and remiss if we did not tackle the first and most important thing of the day, and that's of course 23 years ago. So we will do this, and we do this as reflection. I do this every year. I at least watch the whole day on TV. When I say I will never forget, I put my money where my mouth is, and I literally watch the entire day and all the documentaries, and I relive that day and remember everything that happened, because I refuse to have myself forget on any level. And I've encouraged my kids, and they watch it because I want them to understand what happened. So I'll try to make this as quick as possible because it's reflection. Of course, the day was, as everyone describes, it was absolutely beautiful, very much like today, which was kind of eerie. Not blue, not a cloud in the sky, perfect temperatures. And, made my way, my hour and a half trek from where I live, which is beautiful Barnegat, New Jersey, down on the shore, all the way across state and up to Cranberry, New Jersey, where my job was as a senior art director of a firm. And I had just come back to the company after, doing some other projects, bigger projects for 6 months. They asked me to come back. So my station had 4 computers. And a matter of fact, having 4 computers at that time was actually a luxury. And so I literally had 4 systems in my double wide cubicle, because I needed space to have, different kinds of, animations running and stuff like that while I was doing other design work. So, and the place was a glorified frat house. It was. Basically, everybody's having, sex with everybody, drinking during the daytime. It was a great place to work. Don't get me wrong, but it was pretty much it was a crazy atmosphere. But yes, a lot of people in there were actually responsible. But in other words, the reason I say that is because there's always you have jokesters that are always going to play games and stuff like that. And one of these jokers, his name was Dave King, and he's always pulling stuff. He was always a joker, so you never really took him seriously. So I was hanging out in my cube and starting to get the work day going, and I got out of my cube to go use the restroom, and then Dave walks right in front of me, pretty much his eyes wide open and like a ghost look on his face. And he goes, plane just went into the World Trade Center. So I'm thinking, just like everybody else, that's a small commuter plane, and, not that it's going to be what it eventually became to be. And I'm like, well, that's horrible. I gotta, of course I'm going to pull it up, because I had all the computers and all the power. I pulled it up, all 3 stations I had when streaming first started. So you imagine how much this is all taking up. But yes, I had all 3 different stations: CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS. And I'm streaming this thing on all the computers. Well, over time, this is everybody else is coming into my cube to watch it. And while they're doing that, um, we all watch the second plane hit. And now people are starting to get frantic. Now at this time, I actually had a wonderful assistant, um, administrative assistant. Her name was Sue, and she was very, very upset, more than normally. And I was wondering why. And the reason being is because I later found out, because she was on the phone frantically trying to reach somebody. And it was her brother. Her brother, her brother was John Shapura, part of Ladder 3. Wanted to know if he was down at the site. Meanwhile, then the Pentagon gets hit. We hear about Shanksville. We hear about 93. Literally, there's girls, just out of college in this company, and there's, I mean, everybody. Nobody. They were literally curled up in cubes crying. There was crying and wailing going all over. We all knew people in those buildings. All of us, friends. We grew up in those areas. We grew up on the shore. We grew up in Central Jersey, were all the different areas. So we knew people that worked there. We knew people. We knew cops. We knew FDNY. So we knew people. So this wasn't just watching it on TV, even though we were watching it on a stream. I'll remember this guy's name is Rick Mangione, who was another salesman for the company. Lived on Staten Island, drove across while the second plane flew over the Outer Bridge crossing into Tower 2. Looked on his face, because I had gone outside to at least see the smoke, and you could see the buildings from the back of our parking lot. You could see the Twin Towers. They had not yet fallen. And the look on his face was the same as Dave King. I'll never forget that. To this day, I'll remember the look in their eyes. So then we get this half-handed email sent out by the president, per se, of overstating that while this is a horrible tragedy and stuff like that, so we feel that it is safer for you guys to remain here. I remember going to my direct report and I said, I'm going to go to talk to him. Luckily, I had a good relationship with Derek, the president. I walked into Derek and I said, Derek, you cannot do this. You have to gauge this differently. I'm telling my boss's boss this. I told him, I said, Derek, you can't do this. This is something that's never happened. People need to be with their families right now. You cannot sit there and tell everybody they cannot leave and tell them that this is the safest place on the planet for them right now. Are you kidding me? 10 minutes later, another email goes out. We understand that this is a unique situation. No shit. If you feel that you need to leave to go home to go be with your family, and a lot of us had kids, young kids, you can do that. Well, no shit. I was out. As a matter of fact, I was packing up as soon as I talked. I didn't wait for the email. I told my boss directly. I said, I'm out. I'm gone. I'm going to pick up my daughters, and that's it. Gone. See ya. Now this is where I come in contact with this. By this time, the towers fell, and I heard probably one of the most guttural cries I've ever heard, and that came from my assistant, Sue. She knew that her brother was in that tower. So when it came down, you heard, as she watched it, you heard this guttural cry, which I'll never forget. I'll never. It was something I've never heard since, and never heard before. Anguish, complete anguish. So when I got in the car, I'm talking to my wife, And she said she worked. And here's the other thing which freaks you out. This is Miss Effects. She was an interior designer. Guess where one of her clients were? 56th floor, Tower 2, which she was scheduled to be at a meeting in the next day. That alone sent chills down her spine. She actually watched them hit from, she had a, where she worked, she was closer to New York, and she actually saw it all. So then she watches that happen. And I said, look, the kids were actually, while we had already moved to Barnegat by this time, we were living in Matawan at the time prior. We had selected a daycare that was halfway. So she would go to her job in Island. I would go to my job in Cranberry, but the kids would still be at the daycare. We wanted consistency. The daycare was in Keyport, New Jersey, directly across from Staten Island, directly across from Manhattan. So we decided, we said, look, I'll meet you there. I will meet you. We'll pick up the girls. We'll take one car. We'll leave a car there. I don't care. Who gives a crap about it to take worrying about where the car is at this point? You don't even know if you got a country. So let's just take one car. We'll go home. We'll leave it with her. Her name was Kathy, by the way. We walk in. Actually, before we walk in, we pull up to the house in Keyport. The both of us, we actually timed it where we both arrived there at the same time. And this is where it became absolutely real for me. The pile, the burning pile, that smoke had been blowing southeast, actually a little bit more southwest, if you think about it. It was blowing down the coast of New Jersey. I got out of there, and when people talk about the smell of the pile, I know exactly what they're talking about. Matter of fact, I also know the health situation about being on that pile or breathing in or swallowing, because I had gotten so many sinus problems after that I never had before, because I breathed this thing in for at least a good 40 minutes and I couldn't get the smell out. And after that, I had massive problems. I could see why so many people now are still having issues breathing. Side note. We walk into the house. There's Kathy with two babies on both of her arms. Our kids are in a playpen. She's got both of the kids in her arms, and she's crying. She's trying to rock them. And of course, we asked her, I said, do you need any help? What's wrong? And she lifted up her eyes filled with tears going, their parents aren't coming home. Two kids, two babies, infants. I have to call their grandparents to pick up these kids because both parents weren't coming back. The next thing that I remember was after we got on the road, they had shut down everything. Airspace was shut down. Nobody was on the road. Nobody was taking that long drive. Nobody. We were the only car going south on the GSP, the Garden State Parkway. And if you ever see pictures of the GSP, there are cars up and down that damn thing all day long. When I tell you what, we were the only car on that parkway, the only car for the entire stretch. We didn't see one car from exit 117 all the way down to exit 69 where we lived. Not one car. No music. We just sat there, kind of stunned. You ever drive a car with no sound, no noise around you, and you hear the tires, and that's all you hear? It's about as eerie as it gets. We call up everybody on our way. We check on everybody. We make sure everybody's okay. And we get the news that Christine's aunt in Staten Island, her brother, was also part of one of the engine companies that lost everybody. Then we get word that a guy that used to play softball with, Lance, he was in Tower 1. And then one after the other, we find out that all these different people that we knew were in each one of these towers. It was quiet. There was no planes in the air. You got to understand, you're driving down this main highway, there is no sound. We pull up to our house, which we just literally bought like a year and a half ago, prior. So everything was still, kind of new to us. And we just sat there with the kids, holding them, of course, on the couch, watching. After that, the numerous funerals. We went to them. And I can understand why so many people are still so affected. And I really didn't know, and I'm going to give a shout out to somebody who's no longer with us, but I have a funny feeling that's what affected my friend Sean, who basically the one who taught me about coming on and becoming a radio host, because he was part of Carlstad as far as the fire department. And he was part of that fire department during that time. And that's when he seemed to change from one person to the other. And if that can make somebody change that much, then I can only imagine what it does to the people directly affected. I wanted to get that out. I tell that story every year. I think it's important because I want anybody who's within the sound of my voice to not just say it, not just say, I'm never going to forget and make a little post about it. Really understand and go back of what really happened, because it's, why? It's going to give you perspective. It's going to give you perspective and a healthy respect for what you do have, no matter where you are. Thanks, Joe.
Well, at the time, I was at work at Livingston, New Jersey, St. Barnabas Hospital. And at work any other morning, hanging out, coffee, whole bunch of us. Our shop, um, we had one TV that was always on and had like the news on or whatever, more or less just for pretty much background. And the buzz got around where it was a plane hit the tower, and everybody was what, who, what, and like everyone congregating in your cube, everybody in my shop stuffed ourselves in this room and looked up, and just all these questions started popping up, and
Mm-hmm.
the who, the what, the why. Um, they better be careful. They're gonna have to fix that quick. They're gonna, check the structure.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and then boom, the number two got hit. And uh I worked in a hospital. So once everybody saw that, it was not literally, but everybody just went into mode. The department I work in, I maintain and repair all the medical equipment, anything that goes on a patient. We had to go to empty rooms throughout the entire hospital and set them up with anything we could to have a patient, to hold a patient, and set these rooms up and run around and gather everything. And nobody said two words. It was just, this is what we need. This is what we need. St. Barnabas was known for having one of the an outstanding burn center
Yep.
Needless to say, they contacted everybody and said, all hands on deck, get here now. And I had to go to the burn center and make sure that everything was up and running, everything was there, make sure everything was set up, help them if they needed something. And I stood in a room filled with everybody waiting, completely gowned up, head to toe, waiting for someone to be brought in, anyone to be brought in.
Mm-hmm.
And it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Those rooms that were set up never got occupied. And everybody, people would had to do their job. They're in patient care. So it was just very, no one knew what to do. The hospital said, okay, we're going to have victims. People are going to need blood. Sign up if you want to give blood. Um, Everybody lined up in the hallway. There wasn't just a clipboard with two pieces of paper on it. It was a notebook. It was a notepad, the type you'd bring to high school back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just filled within minutes. Everybody wrote their name down. And everybody was wanting to do something. Before working at St. Barnabas, I worked at Jersey City Medical Center.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a view of the skyline where we worked. We were on the 11th floor. And once um, I had a moment, I called over there. I said, how are you guys doing over there? And they're like, can't believe it. We're staring at the tower. Now we're staring at smoke where a tower used to be. And I was like, is anyone coming in? And they're like, nope, nope, nothing. And it was one, it didn't, everybody was just waiting. And then Mara, my wife, calls me, and her sister has a friend, and she's like, "Did you know anybody?" And I was like, "No." I said, "I'm sure I got we have alumni in there, but I can't say I know anybody." And then my sister-in-law's friend's fiance was in the tower, and they were set. They had a wedding date planned. They were having a house built, and she was just beside herself. We
I
can't,
actually think I know this story from hearing it actually being broadcast. I actually think I know this story.
and I lived up in Warren County. I had a 45 minute commute to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I don't exactly remember when, but there was one time where I came home, got dressed, and we all met at St. Michael's in Union. And if you were a man of the cloth in any way, shape, or form, you were there, they were there. And it was all are welcome. It was
Mm-hmm.
everybody.
Yeah.
And it was really unreal. It was something, again, everybody was just quiet. After that, we went back to work and we had to clean up the rooms, put all the stuff back. And then uh, every department, every TV had on the news and we watched
Mm-hmm.
and we just moved forward from there on. It was it just, yeah, I mean, that's where I was that day. And of course, uh, you know, checked on my family and they're in Union, so but My mother's like, well, are you busy? How was the hospital? And it just, everybody was just beside themselves. Years later, through Facebook, reconnected with some friends and childhood friends. We went out, and as it turns out, a friend of mine, Jeff Scherzer, uh, don't quote, but I believe he was like in the ground floor of one of the buildings, and he got out.
Hmm.
He he got home, and it was, we all took a step back because this was, years later. We have No one's ever really forgotten, but then that's I say, yeah, now I know somebody who got out, and that was it. And it was just we just keep moving forward, and we watched everything, and just, yeah, that was pretty much it.
Couple
But
of thi- Good.
won't forget standing in a room full of people, gowned up, head to
Mhm.
toe, waiting and waiting, and
And hoping,
yeah,
honestly, and hoping that you get people in there that you can
right.
help. Yeah.
And my we had we had walkie-talkies, and every once in a while my boss would try anything, and I'm like, we got nothing. And he's like, anything. I'm like, I got nothing. We got nothing here. And he's like, all right, well, stay there until I call you. And I stood there, and and when you work in a hospital, it's no one really had a chance to break down. No one really had a chance to
Yeah, you're numb.
take that in because you're in mode.
You're in mode and numb.
Right. You're just like, okay, once they come in, we're gonna hook this up, get this up. Okay, we got, and it just, so yeah, it yeah, that's what I don't forget. Never forget that room, that room. So
Couple of things that and we'll close it off at 9:30 and we'll continue. We are gonna talk some music, and we're gonna do what we're here to do. I mean, we're here to talk about stuff. We're here to have fun and talk about music, and that's what we will do. And that's the gift that we've been given through all the sacrifice that people make and everything like that. So that will happen, and we will do that. But we have to acknowledge we are remiss and not responsible, I think, as well, like people doing, media that we don't discuss that and talk about it. um I remember a couple of things. Number one, I live, well, it doesn't exist anymore for the past 10 years, but I live next to Oyster Creek Power Plant. It's a nuclear power plant about 2 miles through about 3 miles, 4 miles down the road. And when we got on Route 9 to get to our house, we were stopped. We were stopped because we had to be ID checked. And then all I saw was a line of tanks facing towards the Atlantic Ocean, positioning themselves in case a plane decided they wanted to ram into a nuclear site. Tanks lining the road. Never seen that before in my life. Never thought I would see it in our country. That was an eye opener. Um,
I found it interesting years and years later. Um, I discovered I had a fondness of watching documentaries, and I remembered sometime in the, believe it was the 70s, the gentleman who walked across the towers,
yeah,
Philippe Petit, and they made a documentary about him and how he heard that New York was building the world's tallest towers, and he was going to train and walk across this. And what I found really interesting was they weren't even built yet. So part of the documentary is they keep moving over to New York, and you're seeing the towers be constructed
Mm-hmm.
from the ground up, and they're being built. And then you see him training, and you see him practicing
Mm-hmm.
over in France. And then you go back and you see the towers up more and more till they're finally completed. So it kind of also gave you a little bit of a history or a backstory on the Twin Towers and how, they were constructed and where they're built. And of
Yeah.
course, how we walked across them. And nobody thought of bringing a movie camera, video camera from the news.
Mm-hmm.
All you have are stills of him just standing there and walking. And then it was pretty interesting because that man has no one else will ever see what he saw.
Yeah.
No one. But I found that interesting because you saw the towers being built. And it was just, I found that. So again, took a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he was brought up throughout all the stories and the news and everything. This story managed to make, and they discussed about the man who walked across the two towers, and um, they arrested him, but they never pressed charges. And he had a pass. He had a free lifetime pass to go up anytime he wanted. And they made a point of that, and he signed the one wall of the tower up top.
Mm.
So I found that if he you get a chance, definitely give it a look. It was really interesting and fascinating,
Got
and
a
also
question. Go ahead.
throws in a little bit of history on what was once there.
That was very cool. Does have this question. Have you gone to the site?
No, um, I'm not a city mouse.
Um, I was there the first year that the memorial opened. And I took Sean, I took Chris, and I took actually two friends who were staying with us from Sweden who actually were listeners who became friends. Yes. Um, Marie and Sophie, they were wonderful, wonderful people. Um, and I got to tell you, um, the immensity, if that's a word, of it all, and it's kind of it's all underground. It's it's huge, and here's the thing: there's this huge thing with all these different interactive stuff, and then it tells you the story of the day, and yes, you feel conflicted because they do have crushed, like in this museum they have the crushed trucks, some crushed trucks. They have the radio tower from Tower One, the big spire.
Yes.
They have people's wallets, people's IDs, letters, computers, everything, pieces of the airplanes. So while you're conflicted, you're emotionally conflicted. This place is a burial site, and everyone treats it different. Nobody talks to each other in this thing. They don't sit there and have conversations about it. You're just there to look, observe, shut up, and move along. Matter of fact, if you start getting rowdy on there, you will probably get your ass kicked at some point in time.
You're
It's
there to pay respect and
it's
take it in.
there to really to absorb, understand, and to reflect, and to be respectful and pay respects. It is in effect a burial site. I think everybody I think everybody owes it to themselves, not to the people. I think everybody owes it to themselves to go, to understand. It's like the way many people go to the USS Arizona in Hawaii. That is a burial site. There's still people there's remains in that ship, and it has that. So I think that that's important. But I think everybody, if you can afford to go and or take the trip, or I think it's important for you to understand what happened, to really understand the gravity of what happened and what people went through. I have an uncle through marriage, through my aunt, that um his brother um actually worked there. He got out, but the man I knew for a few years prior to the wedding and then afterwards wasn't the man afterwards. Matter of fact, he died a few years ago because of so much PTSD and probably a lot of lung problems. But yeah, it changed him as a person forever. So this is why we talk about it. Let's take a quick break, and we will come back, re-rack, and then we will talk some music for you guys. All right, we'll be back a little bit more here on the WTF radio show here on 99 WNRR. Keep it locked. We'll keep you rocked. Hey, everybody. Ah, welcome to everybody to WTF News here on 99 WNRR, and of course on the YouTube channel 99 WNRR. Of course, a bunch of things going on, which Joe is just like, we should really talk about those things. First of all, no more Saint Dave, I guess, huh? No more Saint Dave. Dave Grohl coming out in rather unique fashion and kind of telling everybody, the whole world, that he just had a baby out of wedlock. And Saint Dave, Saint Dave no more. I mean, look, the guy did a bunch of stuff, partied, drugs, the whole nine yards. He's a rock and roll guy, and everyone treats him like the super dad or something like that, or the conscience of America. Sometime he's a man. He's gonna do things are gonna happen.
I don't think they treated him like super dad. I don't think that they treated him.
I think it's dad rock.
They liked Dave so much because he was so approachable.
Well, yeah,
he was the guy that if you walk down the street, you're like, "Hey, Dave, how you doing?" He's like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, but that's kind of like super dad. You're a rock and roll guy, but yet you're kind of like the guy next door. You're approachable, but you got kids that like super dad.
Yeah, and there's a oopsie. And
yeah. What an oopsie.
Hey, I'm sorry. I live by 4 words that keeps me on the straight and narrow. 4 words.
Yeah.
That make sure I
why do I feel that you're gonna get beat here?
No. 4 words that will keep me faithful to the day I die.
Go for it.
Lorena Bobbitt, not guilty. It's still those 4 words.
I
And think about that next time. That's it.
Oh my God, that's true. Listen, Lorena Bobbitt, was she not guilty? I thought she
Not
was.
guilty.
Are you sure? I thought she was guilty.
No. Because apparently he did a whole bunch of mean and evil things, which brought upon it. And technically, she didn't kill him. So it's not manslaughter. And yeah, due to some major surgery and with the proof of not one, but 2 videotapes, all's functioning.
Yeah, didn't he get a replacement, like a bigger one or something like that?
From what I can remember,
I think he did.
no.
No, I thought he
No.
did. No, they reattached the original. Huh? He didn't trade it in for a bigger model, huh?
No. I think if anything, they made it downsize just to make sure you never forgot. But yeah,
Wow. How is that even possible?
hey, I don't go that far.
Yeah. How is it even possible? I know maybe one day I'll look it up, just in case it happens.
I worked in a video store for those who don't know, a video store used to be a big building where you can rent VHS tapes.
Yes.
And the really good video stores had a back room.
And DVDs at one time.
Well, this was before the DVD.
You could rent DVDs.
Right. But back when I worked, there was no DVDs. They didn't exist. But there was a back room. And sure enough, when that thing came in, that was rented out all the time. And of course, working there, never had to pay for anything. I'm like, all right, curiosity's peak. Let's take this home and watch. And it just, yeah. Yeah, no, he did not trade in the VW and get a Porsche. No, that was not the case at hand. So, but yes, Lorena Bobbitt, not guilty. So,
so we got that going for us. So I mean, but apparently, I heard this just came out actually today. He actually saw a divorce lawyer before he told her, his wife. So he sits there and says that I realized the mistake I made. I'm going to be committed to raising this child. Kudos to you.
yes,
for not just saying, you deal with it. He's doing a man thing. He's taking care of the child that he helped create. So good on you for that one, Dave. But also before he told anybody, he went out and got a divorce lawyer. If the conversation didn't go well,
yeah.
So he went and did that, then writes in the same sentence that I'm working towards to regain the trust of my wife, my children, and the rest of my family.
Yeah.
So do you think that he gave her a hall pass?
I don't know. 2 wrongs don't make a right.
But 3 rights make a left.
Exactly. So that, like I said, I don't know. And truth be told,
did he give her a hall pass?
Truth be told, we're never going to find out.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, CJ. Just brightened up the morning. I mean, the evening.
Call me.
Joe's got to look now.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Damn brunettes. They do it all the time.
She's got hair. But yeah, no, with something like that, yeah, they're celebrities. And when it comes to music and all that, Dave Grohl's like the go-to guy. He's the guy that everybody wants to collab with. He's the guy that everybody wants to work with.
Mm-hmm.
He is like the blue collar guy that doesn't wear a tux when he goes to the Hall of Fame and makes a speech and just shows up. He fell off a stage and still played and all that.
Yeah,
That's
he was trying to make some kind of, he was talking about something like, well, when Taylor was around, like it was Taylor. Oh, it's how he got to know his wife is because apparently Taylor got all the girls. And so he was hanging around with Taylor, and Taylor had these two girls, right? And obviously it was going to be a certain thing with Taylor and two women. And one of them happened to be the woman he wound up marrying, Dave. That man wound up marrying Dave. So,
right.
so interesting. Well, I mean, first of all, it says, well, I mean, depending on how you look at it, I was going to say, I don't know. It's like, yes, this is the you and her and him were going to do whatever with Taylor, and that's the one I'm going to marry. I don't know if I'm doing that way. I don't know if I'm making a sound choice. Yeah, if I'm doing that, sure, it might be fun for a couple of months, but yeah, you're talking the long term here.
I and you know what? You okay.
Dave, leave the guy alone. He's human. Chris
Oh
wants
no,
to leave
he
Dave
is human,
alone.
but
No, no, no. We're not ranking on Dave. We're not
no,
calling a judgment on Dave. We're just trying, we're
absolutely.
going, this is just something that happened. And we're going like, you know, it,
Next to the bottled water and the little tiny bread, you know, pack of Trojans wouldn't have been so bad.
hey,
Just
look, hey, anyone knows that no matter what you got in a pocket or in the wallet or on the side of of the eating table, when you're just not thinking,
yeah.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But no, I mean, I still uh
Just
he
went
owns
down.
up to it. He fessed up to it.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
many people that would not fess up to it, own up to it. There's a few people that haven't seen their child in over a decade, and America seems fine with that. But he's like, okay, I made an oopsie. I'm gonna man up. I'm gonna do what I can to take care of it. While I'm there, I do a ton of patchwork on my home front. So this is where we're at.
yep,
And it's not like if he goes on, if he goes on interviews or people want to interview him, everybody knows if you're going to interview somebody, they get a list of do's and don'ts.
yep.
So I'd be like, you know what, why don't you just because also they're a celebrity, like we just said, he's also a human. He's also a dad.
Yeah,
He's also a husband.
absolutely.
Let this go. He admitted it. He said it.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
let them go their way.
yeah, and let them work it out.
Right.
Exactly. However, they're going to work it out. So let's switch gears. Obviously, um, we'll stick with the music, and then we'll end on the sad note, but also the positive note was obviously there's a lot of talk about the whole Linkin Park thing. We could do this in a couple easy steps. I saw Dead Sarah open up for Muse. Love her. Love her stage performance. She ripped it apart. Matter of fact, she blew Muse off the stage. The energy for the little space that she had, as compared to the big, huge area that they had. And I love Muse. I love Muse as a band. That's my U2, right now. They incredible band. Ton of talent. Songs are incredible. Musicianship's incredible. Everything you want in a great band. But the raw club style aggression that Dead Sarah put forth on that stage was just over the charts. She does a great job. I love what she did. I expected that vocal style from her. I don't take it. I could care less what she does. People get on her because she's a Scientologist and all this other crap that she says. I don't care about your politics. I couldn't care less. I'm not going to sit there and go and look over your shoulder while you're recording. Go, oh, by the way, are you Episcopalian or Catholic? Are you Jewish? I'm not. I don't care. That's
There's other
your
religions.
it's your personal choice.
Scientology is not a religion, it's a cult.
Well, it's a cult, but still, it's her thing.
It's not a good thing.
I didn't say it was a good thing. That's not for my. That's not for
Heroin exists, isn't a good thing.
my. I didn't say I agree with it. I didn't say it was a good thing. I didn't say it was a bad thing. I says it's her thing.
but her thing has an ulterior motive.
It might. True.
No, it does.
Okay. Well, if it does, it does. But that she chose to do that. I don't choose to do that.
I get that, but never a Lincoln heard Lincoln Park like Lincoln Park. If I don't hear another Lincoln Park song again, I'm not going to be upset about it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like, oh, they suck. Oh, Jesus, this band again. No, at the time they brought something out and they brought something good and they brought something powerful. And then of course the unfortunateness and everything. Now they want to move on. That's good for them. For me, it's not about getting the band back together, and it's not about can this individual hack it and fill the shoes. It's not about filling the shoes. It's about continuing onward. You pretty much, not to take anything away from Chester. And my apologies if I offend, but part part broke. So you put a new part in. It's not the same as the part, but they have another part. You move forward. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Adam Lambert at every concert says, I am not here to be Freddie because
Yeah.
nobody can
Can
be
be
Freddie.
right. Right. Exactly. So he does his
I
own thing.
I am here to celebrate and honor Freddie. And
Right.
he brings his own thing to it. And that's fine. You bring your own thing. Uh, Once this news came out and everything, I've been unfortunately, that is my crutch. I have been following and looking into the infamous cult. And I'm
Okay. This is news to me.
oh, well, I don't talk about it a lot because I pretty much can talk until the cows come home. For me, it's the the person in charge is the world's smallest big bully. And it's an organization that preys on the weak and preys on those who are in need. And in a sense, not that I ever know about it, but everybody knows you meet a new dealer and say you want to buy give me a bag of Coke. He reaches into his left pocket, gives you a bag, you go home. And it's the best. It is. You're like, my God, this is so good. You go back and see him again. You're like, oh, I'll take another bag. He goes into his right pocket, and the right pocket has it where it's mixed with others, where it's not as pure, where it's 50-50, it's 25-70. That's what that organization does, is it lures you in, but everything it promises you from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
as you move forward, they slowly take it away from you. Um, you you are a religious person. To everyone, each their own. When you go into confession,
Mm-hmm.
does the priest take notes? Does the priest record it? No,
No.
it's on that system. What Scientology has is something called auditing, where they have this machine where it's pretty much a very, very poor lie detector. And you go in and they ask all these questions about your past lives and your reactive mind, and it's all about the reactive mind. And while you're confessing all these things, which, by the way, in some instances, there are adults talking to children. There are children who are auditors talking to adults, and these adults are giving them their perverse thoughts and everything. And they're writing it all down, and it goes into a file. And say you're like, this isn't for me, I want to move on. They're like, well, if you move on and you move out, you need to sign this NDS, or we're going to make your files public. When you go to church on Sunday and you sit and the priest gives his sermon and you take in it and you feel good and you're like, oh, and You really feel great.
Hmm.
Before you leave the church, does the priest say, now, before you leave, everybody sign that NDS? Because everything I just taught you and everything you have gained from this, you can't share that with anybody. If somebody wants that knowledge and information, they have to pay for it. It's really a disturbing and destructive cult. And I refuse to call it a religion because they strong arm the IRS. And I am not one of these theorists. And I am not about to go down
Hmm.
the rabbit hole with the moon landing and all that. I just did the research.
Fair enough.
Like it or not,
And I did not. So
I got
I'm gonna,
sucked into it.
I'm gonna take your research as verbatim law.
It's
I mean, I did watch a few documentaries. I will say this: I did watch a few documentaries, and some of them that went really, really, really deep. And I knew that what you were talking about as how they set this stuff up and prey upon the weak. So I totally understand and support everything that you were talking about on that one. Um, so I agree with you.
the recruiting. You can walk up to a priest and say, "Can you? I'm feeling kind of out. Can you explain to me the religion of Catholicism, please?" The priest would be like, "Sure, let's go get a cup of coffee." And he'll be more than happy to tell you everything. Everything. They don't get interviewed anymore and they avoid the media like the plague. But if you were to
Mhm.
ask a Scientologist, so what is Scientology? They will look at you dead in the eye and go, go out and read a book, find out for yourself. There's plenty of books about it. Go get a book. It's in a book. And they're like, well, perfect example. Kirstie Alley was on Celebrity Big Brother, and some guy from Europe was like, "Can you tell me about it?" And she's like, "Go get a book." He's like, "I can't get a book. I'm in this house. So now maybe you can explain to me." And it's very secretive. Um, in Hollywood, they have they have recruiting centers, and people will walk around and they'll say, "Hey, do you want to watch a free movie?" Now you're in Hollywood. And you're like, "Yeah, it's Hollywood. Ooh, I hope it's this movie. I hope it's Wolverine." And these guys are dressed like ushers, and they hand you a ticket, and then you go into the Scientology Center, which, by the way, they don't say anything that it's Scientology. They just said it's a free movie, and then they try to recruit you, and then you watch this god awful movie, and they say we can we can solve all your problems and help you communicate, and it's just all false hope. There are plenty of protesters that go out in front, and instead of Scientology welcoming them to go, no, you have us all wrong. Here's the deal. They will pull down blinds and shut doors and shun you. They will not talk in front of a camera. If you have a camera on them, they will not talk to you. Um, if you watch the documentaries and people, if there's ever a news story about Scientology,
Mhm.
it always ends with Scientology denies all this.
Yeah,
It's
decline for an interview to diffuse
and there's never
refute anything.
someone's
Yeah.
name signing it. It's just the Church of Scientology. It's a very corrupt. Their primary goal is to keep it working. KSW. And for that individual to go into that band and be in public right now, everybody in that cult is praising that individual, going, "See, she's following the books. She's going up the bridge to total freedom. Look what you can do. Sign here. Give us your money." It's all marketing. And they if people go public when they leave,
Hmm.
it's sort of like the mob. You can't leave. You know way too much information. Once the internet hit, and once South Park hit, forget about it. The the third rate science fiction writer who started all this did not prepare for the internet. And then once he lost power, and this little coward of a man called David Miscavige took over, And he just, the man lives, he's got more, he avoids going out because he's going to be subpoenaed for several things.
Hmm.
And his wife, he is married, he has a wedding band on. No one has seen his wife in like 20 years, at least almost 20 years. They got into a fight. This man has a huge Napoleon complex. He is paranoid. He is afraid people are talking about him. And he sent her away. Nobody can find her. People have an idea where they are, but it's a corrupt cult. And more or less, when you do business with somebody like that, the band is going to take second fiddle. The band is going to come second, not the family, which, by the way, they break up families. Because if you're in
Yeah.
and if you're in and I'm in and I say I'm out, they're going to tell you you can't talk to him anymore. He's an expressive person. And if you do talk to him, we're going to kick you out too.
Yeah. No, that's true.
And it's an
I've seen
old
all that.
inner circle. So it's, I'm not really going to go any much further, but it's just that bad.
Okay.
There's a skateboard company called Braille Skateboarding. The guy started making YouTube videos to show how to do a simple trick, and it grew from there. As it turns out, he wound up being like a manager or a supervisor I think San Francisco. They call them orgs. It's an office building, and he took time off, and he didn't say why. And then the next thing you know, he came back, and the company went bankrupt. Little by little, he let everybody go because all the money he made went to Scientology. They have parties at the end of the year and they give huge trophies for everybody who gives out the most amount of money. And if you talk against them, it's because you're a bigot. They have the biggest issue is they think psychiatrists are evil. They're the devil. Psychiatry is a sham. They don't do their job. If you were to follow Dianetics and Scientology, we
Right.
wouldn't. Like what happened was L. Ron Hubbard had a few proposals, showed it to the medical board, and they pretty much laughed at him. So he just decided to take war on them. So
Mm-hmm.
they believe
Yeah.
in the type of drugs that are people do need. They don't believe in any of that. It's so going into something with her. My thing is, my thing was never, she's never going to fill the shoes. She's never going to hit the notes. She's never going to sound like them. It wasn't that. The first thing that popped into my mind is that band, that band needs to keep an eye on their finances. And they need to keep focused and look out for one another.
I'm
Because
pretty I'm pretty sure with a huge conglomerate that is Lincoln Park and Mike Shinoda, I'm pretty sure that her contract is literally just as a performer and and whatever, but it's not to get in on the brand. I'll guarantee you. I'll guarantee you.
mm,
One
I
thing that's
mean,
smart, one thing that's better than Scientology lawyers, and that's the lawyers that run the music business. That
Scientology's
I'll
got
tell
deep
you.
pockets
They
because
got deep
Scientology,
pockets.
they
That's
got
true,
deep
but
pockets. And they, yes, deep pockets. They haven't sued anybody in years because they wound up shooting themselves in the foot. They'll always threaten with a lawsuit and they'll try to get a
mhm.
lawsuit, but it, they don't, they got a fleet of lawyers. They know every
Well, no,
loophole. They know everything. So again, that's my concern with that is careful who you do company with. And again, it's if they, that's where I am.
I wonder,
Everybody's like, you
I
have
wonder
to
if they let
replace
her
Chester.
go. I wonder if they let her go. If the press keeps on getting worse, I wonder if they let her go.
Well, that's just it. Because the band she was in before that, there was three other, her and the other two that she was with were Scientologists. They all kind of run into a tight circle.
Oh, Dead Sarah.
Yeah. Also, what's got everybody into a stink?
Shame. Good band.
What got everybody into a stink was Danny Masterson. He's doing time because he's doing 30 to life on 2 counts of rape. Now,
Who's that?
he was in that 70s show. He
Oh,
played.
oh, oh, 70 show. Yeah, 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 yeah.
What happened with him was he drugged people. There's a
Oh,
there's a
Bill Cosby.
restaurant called La Poubelle. That's his natural hang. He goes in there, everybody knows, and he pretty much roofied people, brought him home, took advantage of them, and that was that, and laughed it off.
See, I don't understand that, Joe. Why can't he just go plain off and just roofie anybody? He doesn't have to become a Scientologist. He could go roofie anybody and go.
He's
I mean,
protected because
I know that, but
and no, no,
you're on the 70s show. You're popular as hell, and you feel like you need to roofie somebody. I mean, you look at you. You're on TV every damn week. You're getting, at first he was geeky, but he actually grew appealing to a lot of women later on in the later episodes. So you can just put yourself out there and get some. Why do you got to drug somebody?
because he's protected. Because not only is he a Scientologist, he's a celebrity. What had happened was these women feared of coming out. And when they went, Scientology believes in they solve everything from within. They are instructed if something goes bad with you, you do not take it to the police. You keep it within.
Yeah.
You do not. So when one of the victims did what she told as per law there, they looked at her and said, well, what did you do wrong to bring it in? You needed to do something in your past to make this happen now. And she had to sit in a room with Masterson and pretty much apologize to him after she was just pretty much spit upon. So without going too deep, but he went to court. This Emily person not only went to court supporting Danny Masterson, but one of the victims,
That girl, that Emily.
yeah. Emily wasn't a victim. Emily was on Danny's side.
Oh, Emily went to bat for Masterson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Showed up in court.
Okay. Full stop right there.
Yeah.
I had no idea that she did that for him.
Oh, it gets better.
Oh, no, game over. Game over. We don't have to extend the conversation anymore.
The woman tried to get out of
EOS. If she did that, she's a piece of shit. And she
tried to get out of an elevator.
Every woman that she comes in contact with.
Woman tried to get out of an elevator. Her and a couple other Scientology people surrounded her and tried to give her the look of intimidation and shit.
Wow.
So you go into the news, wow. Emily has that, hi, I'm Emily. I went to court for somebody, and she does this very vague, very CYA apology, not mentioning who the person was and not mentioning anything of what.
See, this is what I can't understand. And help me out on this one, Joe. This is what I can't understand. I mean, I don't think these guys in Lincoln Park nor their lawyers are a bunch of idiots. Okay. But how do they let that one, if you want to put a good vibe out there, let's face it, there's a lot of women who like your band too. Okay. Lincoln Park.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of women who like the band. How could you be so stupid to let this woman, who has this track record, lead a comeback of your band? Mike Shinoda, you got to be smarter than this. Hence, lawyers, you got to be, unless you're in bed with it too.
That hasn't been discussed, and a lot of people are like, well, who cares who follows that as long as the band's good. And again, also the old joke, how can you tell, a lawyer, well, how can you tell a Scientologist is lying? Their lips are moving. They are pathological. They tell, oh, I forgot the term they use, but they pretty much lie about everything. The term they have is fair game. Fair game is if you become an enemy, they will do everything in their power to destroy you. they will contact your family and say, "Did you know that he does cocaine on the side?" And they will contact your work and they will like do all sorts of vile things just
Oh
because you
yeah. Oh
did
yeah.
something bad. So this is yeah, this is unfortunately this is what I study and I don't talk about it a lot. And because I kind of get too far, so I'm holding back a lot, but I'm
I
whittling it
know.
down. That's pretty much it. That's why I have an issue.
I
My
understand.
thought was nobody, you shouldn't move forward. Nobody can replace him. Nope. Mine was, guys, keep an eye on your money and be very, very
Well, I
careful.
mean, if they were that blind, to which I can't say that they were, I can't believe that they were that blind unless they're part of it. And if they're part of it, then they should be scrutinized just as and they basically should do what they did with the Beatle records when John said what he says, throw them all out, don't buy a damn thing, and don't go see the comeback tour.
Well, yeah,
She's going to get so, or, like I said, people actually say and believe this. I do not believe this. I think integrity is everything when you're doing either, whether a small podcast, a live cast out there on the national scene, it does not matter. Your integrity is everything when you're part or trying to become part of the media. Once you start promoting lies, once you start promoting, any kind of propaganda, your credibility is out the window and you're bullshit and you should just leave and just take it. So if that's the case and what they're trying to do right now, then they should just go bye-bye. And that's
and
it.
the world still loves Tiny Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Yeah. Please,
We're not going there, but
please. He carries the flag in the damn Olympics and we all celebrate him. There you go. That's how that works.
hasn't seen his daughter
Yeah,
in years.
exactly. Well, no, I didn't think she's got a restraining order against.
No, no,
Um,
not a
and
restraining order.
no restraining order.
Katie escaped. So Katie was declared an SP, a suppressive person, an enemy of the cult of Scientology. So now his own daughter, Suri, is a PTS, a potential trouble source, because she talks to the other side.
Well, I don't know. I'm a little get concerned. You know all these abbreviations now.
I've been, I got curious and I watched a video and it just kind of hooked me in. And I do what I can not to talk about it. It's, it's, yeah, but because of that, even though he is the poster boy, that's why he doesn't see or talk to her. I'm sure there's other things mentioned legal wise, but she already changed her last name. She graduated and her diploma does not say Cruz on it. She changed her last name.
Okay.
But yeah, he has two other kids and they're still within the fold. So they're fine and dandy.
Mm.
But nobody will ever ask him, how sir he shows up everywhere and he does everything and I don't watch his movies. I I can't respect this person.
Neither do I.
I can't. So, and like I said, when people are over and like we went to a barbecue when someone mentioned that movie and Mara just looked at me, she goes, don't. And I said, I won't. It's not my home and it's my thing. And that's that. Just don't ask me why. But that's my issue with this in this band. Because again, I have nothing against the band. I'm not a diehard fan, but yeah, it's careful who you do business with. There's there's an underlying ulterior motive, and she will lie through her teeth because that's what they do.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna get off the soapbox and shake it off. And yeah, I listened to Oasis. I did what you told me to, and I listened to Oasis.
Oh, wait a minute. I got one. We got one more. We got one more.
One more.
This will be quick before we get into music and stuff like that because we still got an hour to go. And, obviously, people don't think that there's a lot of people who don't think that it's so big and because they remember him from other things. But you want to talk about, you know, somebody who had an effect on popular culture and the way we talk and the way we do things. Think about it. Think about the complete and utter total effect that James Earl Jones had on our pop culture across the board.
Yeah.
All the expressions, the way that he talks, you know, and
Yes.
everything that he brought to the table, your breathing and
Yes.
you know, everything that you associate with that. This this is huge. This was a huge loss. I mean, yeah, it's 93. I get it. Lived a long, great life. But I also submit to you one of the most fascinating things, a little hokey for me when I saw it, is when he played he played the character in Field of Dreams. Baseball Ray.
Yes.
You know, that monologue was incredible. Baseball has marked the time. It's true. And that's the thing that I think about aside from everything he did as the voice of Vader. And I believe I think he sold the rights to his voice where they dubbed AI versions of his voice and re-recorded. So basically right now they can CGI Vader in any future Disney. So I think they're doing a Vader series. I think they announced they're doing a Vader series now on Disney Plus. Um, and they can literally type in AI and his voice will come out. I think he's licensed that to them. So, you know, yeah, that's right. His appearance on Big Bang Theory was
Yes.
hilarious. That was hilarious. That moment. He's a weenie. Yeah, I loved it. It was great.
The whole interaction was just, and what also brought out the story was after all those movies, he's never met Carrie Fisher, and he met her on the set of Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, yeah, that was also really, really good. James,
It's not funny. Then why am I laughing? It
not
just,
funny. Yeah, I like Star Wars too.
yeah, it was a voice, and but before Star Wars, he was in Conan.
Oh,
He
absolutely.
played the bad guy,
Yep, he did. He played Conan. He was in Conan. Loved it too. Um,
and
I do take issue with one thing, James. Thank you. I have to say thank you for everything, James, that you have given me in becoming the voice of the one thing that I would follow for years and years and years. So I just want to say a big thank you. But I just have one question, James, and I know that you're up there. And I just have one question for you. Why in God's good name did you have to say no? It's the worst in
yeah,
any movie I've ever seen. Why?
yeah.
Why did you do it like that? No. Why?
He was told, he was directed, and apparently it made the cut.
That killed me. I made so much fun of that.
Everybody did.
Every time I said what, you know, like if the kids were out to dinner and then we'd say, you know, what do you want to order, and then we're going to order this, I went no. It's so true. God,
Kevin
James,
Smith talks about that.
it just totally just all years of this figure that you just come to know and embrace and love in the darkness and the dark side and Vader, the dad, boom. You know, I'm gonna wreck everything right now. And just for you to come up with that one line, you
It,
killed everything.
it I'm sure from a director's point of view,
No.
they could say, well, that was the point where he stopped caring and he became the cold Vader that everybody knew in the real Star Wars movies, where, you know, if you notice, he had
Yeah,
no
but
emotion, he
it's
had no care.
not something that he would have done.
I wouldn't let him
It
do
was
it.
completely out of character, and
Yeah.
that's what killed me. But James Earl Jones, thank you so much.
What stands out, what stands out for
Oh,
me when, oh, now he's going somewhere because he's ill prepared. And I like to share this story. So we're going to wait for him. So that means I'm going to have a sip, my WTF mug. Mm. Um, no, of course.
WTF mug that James likes.
I forgot to bring my Darth Vader down. I got my Frozen Han, but I don't have my Darth Vader. Yes. Oh, dollar short and a day late. I got a Vader mask that talks. Oh well. Anyway, what? Of course, he's known pretty much for Vader, and there was a movie that came out, and he had like a small part in a cameo. And what I liked about him was he can also pull off being funny.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
the dude was hilarious.
I couldn't say he could pull off being a stand-up comedian, but a little movie came out called Sneakers with
I remember
Robert
that. No, I remember that movie.
and Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd, one of my favorite parts is Dan Aykroyd. He played
Yep.
Mother. And James Earl Jones at the end, you hear his voice in the movie, and you're like, oh yeah, we all know who that is. And in the end, you see him, and he's this stern person who's supposed to, kind of scare them into something. And I don't really want to say too much, but because everybody should watch that movie along with John Wick. Anyway, you see him as a stern, being stern, and these individuals are slowly driving him crazy, where he's just losing it more and more as he talks to each person down the line, where you just see him lose all control. And I was like, that's just great. He's funny. He can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course you see Big Bang where, he's like, I like Star Wars too. He is a weenie. That's great because he's not bitter for being everybody knowing him for Vader. And he appears in all these other movies. He was in The Sandlot. I tell you what, you come here and talk baseball and we'll call it an even trade. George signed this. I stand corrected. You're dead where you stand. He appears in things.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, at the end in Coming to America, when he gets put into his place, he pissed off James. Now, wait a minute, Jack. Oh, his son ain't good enough or our daughter ain't good enough for his son. And in the looks on his face, you know him as the king, and you know him as the lion, and you know him as Vader. Of course, you know him as Vader, but there were so many other things he popped up in, and you knew the voice, but you forgot he was Vader. I mean, he was even in a terrible, terrible movie that I watched called The Ambulance. It had to be a tax write-off because he started with Eric Roberts. It was not a good movie. It was a bad movie. And I know bad movies. I watch them all the time, but I watched it and just said, this had to be a tax write-off because he was horrible in it. But there was just so much more than just Vader. And well, yeah. But Coming to America, that's whenever that's on, you just stop what you're doing and you sit and you watch it. He had just that voice. He just had such a presence. You'd kill for that voice. But yeah, it was definitely sad. But again, the man had some life. He some life.
Hold on, I got it because it needs the room. Hakeem. I had to do it.
He went to sow his royal oats.
He went to sow his royal oats. Put a sock in it, Joffrey.
Yeah, just definitely.
My son is a janitor. It really helps when you just get a little room in your cheeks. You just you get the big boisterous of it. So, so that sucked. That sucked. But again, thanks. We move on and see what Kathleen can f up with him now. So I'm sure that Kathleen Kennedy will screw up something else in the Star Wars universe. She's already effed everything else up. By completely emasculating everybody every popular character that's been out there. So thanks a lot, Kathleen, for completely blowing up the entire series.
You know, you just you
I'm not
watch what
going
you
there.
like.
I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there.
Just don't go there.
I
Don't.
can't.
No,
Because
don't.
if I do, it's gonna be bad. I can't. You cannot light the fire.
And if you
You cannot light the
do,
fuse.
and if you
You
do,
do shave and a haircut. No tune can resist. Shave and a haircut.
yeah, don't
I
go
know
there.
people talk about that movie as much anymore. That was such an iconic movie, and I don't think it ever got the love that it deserved. Hilarious movie. First time that they ever mixed live actors. Well, no, they did that with Disney earlier, but was done with this different animation style.
Which movie?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, oh yeah, I remember that. I won't say who did it
Great
because I
movie.
don't want to spoil it for anybody.
What was that?
I don't want to. I don't want to say who framed Roger Rabbit because, dear Barbara, I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Did Framed
No,
Roger?
it's a really good movie. It's got
Not just any tune. What?
got a simple plot and it's got great action. This movie called John Wick. You really
Oh,
take some time out and watch it.
all right. So now that you've prompted that, before we start playing, we're gonna at least spend 30 minutes on the New Jersey bands that we have to finish out. That means we're gonna have to do like a serious like blitz for like 30 minutes. But you did say Oasis.
I listened to it,
Okay.
and again, yeah, everything about the feel and all that, I could see what they were doing. And I'm sorry, I heard it. I'm like, okay, it. I'm still not gaga over them. So,
Okay.
so that's two concerts I'm not getting tickets for.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, at the price that they are, well, I'm going to give kudos where kudos is due. I mean, not that it matters to them what I say, but um, and because I've talked about this, and I'm really excited about what they did. You know, it did piss off a lot of fans. I get it. I get it. But they took a stance against all of this, secondary ticket agencies buying up tickets and holding people for ransom. Matter of fact, for those people who wanted to scalp old school and get the tickets and put them out there for like 5-6 times the value, if they saw that the ticket value was higher than what, they would cancel a ticket. So not only the person who bought the ticket, but the person who the ticket got issued to was wrong. And then the ticket goes back into circulation and it's out there in the legal. So if you were stupid enough, dumb enough to disobey the legal that was attached to those tickets and you got screwed out of going and you got screwed out of the money, good for you. You're an asshole. Okay. Good for you, because that shit needed to stop. And people and especially ticket agencies buying up blocks of tickets and selling them for $1,000, $1,500 to go see a band is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm happy that they took a stand. They don't need the money. And that's the thing. They don't need the money. They have enough money. They sell out wherever they play. I tried to get tickets when Liam came over with John from the Stone Roses when they did their recent tour. I tried to get tickets to the New York show. I believe it was at the Ritz. It was impossible. 10 minutes, they were sold out. And that's a smaller venue.
Bring back the days where you got to camp out at a record store.
That's what I'm talking about. Get your ass online and sit and wait. And then you got those paper tickets, those beautiful multicolored Ticketron tickets that had, we've got them here. We're going to do a show about the live concerts that we've been to. We're going to rake out our ticket stubs, which are a lot.
Yeah,
and we're going to talk about these shows. I think we should do that maybe in the next couple of shows. But we were talking about a few bands left over that we did not get to. One of them was Highway 9, which was an outgrowth of the band Mr. Reality that I talked about last week. What were the other bands that you were talking about?
There was Dramarama.
Dramarama, which go ahead.
They had the song Earth Day.
Earth Day. but you put it out there, so you got to tell them the connection.
Well, yeah, hi-fi, sci-fi, hi-fi, or whatever. When during the hiatus, Clem Burke was the drummer in Dramarama,
Yes,
so he played with them.
but they don't know your connection with Clem.
No, yeah, Clem is my wife's cousin.
There you go.
So
The Hall of Fame. Not that it matters because Joe's been there and he says it's a tourist trap piece of shit, which we all knew anyway. But hey, you're a Hall of Fame rock and roll star. You're a Hall of Fame rock and roll star, period. End of story. So he's in the Hall of Fame for being part of Blondie.
yeah,
So there you go. And he writes on his sticks, HOF.
yes,
So good for you. I don't take that. If you work that hard and if you're known as a Hall of Fame anything, I do not take that away from you.
the man is always working, and you
Empty Hearts.
empty hearts.
Everybody. He's played with everybody. Didn't he fill
Yeah.
in? Didn't he fill in on the Ramones a couple of times?
He was for a heartbeat. He was Elvis Ramone,
Elvis Ramone, right?
but the Romantics. He played with the Romantics.
Romantics as well. Yep, you did that too.
He played with drummer. He played with the Eurythmics.
Yep.
I don't know the name of the album, but the song "Would I Lie to You," that was him. He was there.
I love that.
And but basically he's been hanging out with a whole bunch of old friends from other bands and playing around and all that stuff. But yeah, when I met him, he was with Dramarama. We saw him at the Pony. But yeah, that's another local Jersey band.
Okay. You want me to go over this? Because this is pretty impressive, dude. He not only played drums for Pete Townsend and Bob Dylan and the Eurythmics and the Fleshtones, Iggy Pop and Joan Jett, amongst others. He was in a band with Steve Jones from Sex Pistols, and it was called Checkered Past in 1983.
Yeah.
And it had his former blonde mate, Nigel Harrison, who I actually really, really dug, Tony Sales, and singer Michael DeBarre.
Yeah.
That's a band that we have to check out. I haven't checked out Checkered Past, huh?
I inherited that vinyl.
You have that's got to be something right there. So you're talking about, he joined Tommy Ramone. Yes, he was part of the Ramones for a brief moment in time. He was part of the Go-Go's for a brief moment in time.
He filled in, for Gina. She couldn't play a couple times.
Yeah, didn't she have like bypass surgery and some shit like
Something
that?
like that. But she
had a heart problem.
He was always with the band because he was great friends with Kathy.
Right, exactly. Also a member of Magic Christian, along with Flaming Grooves guitarist Cyril Jordan and Plimsoll's lead guitarist Eddie Munoz on bass. There you go. There's a little something for you.
Oh, yeah.
So this is not just he also, let me see. Oh yeah, he's got what do you call it? Empty Hearts with Wally Palmer from the Chesterfield Kings, bassist Andy. Chesterfield bassist Andy Babick, I would say. Romantics guitarist and vocalist Wally Palmer, of course, and guitars the Cars.
The Empty Hearts.
Elliot Easton, and Small Faces and Faces pianist Ian McLagan.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He definitely very, very down to earth.
Wait a minute, hold it. I did not know this. Now this is pretty sexy to me. He played dates as a member of LAMF, a Johnny Thunders tribute.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I people don't know about this. I love Johnny Thunders. I love his stuff.
And he was in the movie Roadie.
The good thing that came out. He was the good thing that came out of the New York Dolls. It's true New York punk. True New York punk. Prior to the Ramones. And I love the Ramones. Prior to the Ramones. A true New York punk. Yeah. Great. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at all these albums. Wow. Yeah, he's put in his time, my friend. He has put in his time.
And then he does something. He's got an honorary doctorate to some. You're gonna have to look into it. Unfortunately, I don't have it committed to memory because I'm too busy learning about evil cult shit. But he did something with drumming. Look into that. and very involved. It was you would find it very, very interesting. At 2 o'clock in the morning, when it comes to me, I'll send it over to you.
Text it over to me.
Yeah.
Who else was on your thought process as far as great New
Oh,
Jersey?
see, that was last week. All my albums are gone.
Oh man.
There was Trickster, American Angel, Highway 9. There was Drama Rama.
Hmm.
Oh, then of course, because you had the whole Bon Jovi thing, and can't say I was a fan of Bon Jovi, but I got both of David Bryan's solo albums. He's from Jersey. Richie Sambora, his second solo album. I highly recommend that to everybody. His first solo album was very good. He killed it with When Cries Mary,
Hmm.
but half of that album was a Bon Jovi album because John helped produce and so forth. This one, it was, I don't know who produced it. It was all Richie. Nothing sounded like a Bon Jovi song.
So you're not saying Stranger in This Town. That was his first one, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I bought that strictly for the When Cries Mary. He killed that song.
I got it from Mr. Bluesman.
And I discovered Mr. Bluesman on, and I was like, okay, now I'm really keeping this album.
Yeah.
But his second one, if if you can find it, by all means, get it. I lost my copy because I was listening to it in my car when I got hit by a Mack truck. No, when I got hit with the other truck, and my car flipped and turned and everything. It got stuck. It got stuck into the player, and I went to go take pictures of my car for insurance and everything. You'll appreciate this. So, if you want to get anything out of the car, go ahead. I'm like, well, let me get everything out of the glove box. Let me get this. And I had CDs, and I'm like, is there any way you can juice this car up so I can get the disc out of the CD player? It's a good disc. I don't want to buy it again. The guy looked at me like, really? No, it's gone. I was like, oh. So I have the case for it, but I lost the CD.
Oh, so the battery got blown out, so you had no power to the car?
No, the car was totaled. It got flipped over and spun. So they disconnected the battery. Once they parked it, they disconnected the battery and took everything out of it. It was junk. And I couldn't get the disc back. So I keep looking for it. A nice used copy.
Damn.
But definitely worth something listening.
What's the name of the album?
Making me think. There it is. Undiscovered Soul.
Undiscovered Soul.
Yes.
Okay.
Phenomenal album. The title track alone, all 7 minutes and 24 seconds of it. Love this song.
I can get that for $53.
Yeah. I don't even need the case. I just want the disc.
On vinyl.
Yeah, no. No, please.
On vinyl. On vinyl. Let me see. CD. You want it?
Not right now.
I'll ship it to you. It's
No.
635. I can get it shipped to me by tomorrow.
No, I'm good. I got other things
Sure.
right now.
It's $6-7. I'll get it for you. I'll ship it up.
No, I'm good right now. I appreciate it, but I'm good. Ow.
Yeah. Are you absolutely positive? This doesn't sound to me like you want it.
No, I think here's the deal. You should buy it and keep it.
I don't have any space.
There's always room. There's always room.
Yeah, that's what she keeps telling me.
There's always room. Now they're coming back. Other Jersey bands. Again, we touched base on it. It was Toy Cannon with 2 N's. I worked with the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the band Zyad at JJ's.
Uh-huh.
Them and Soraya. Soraya came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we were at the mall. We were working at the mall, and what Sam Goody did was, I believe, at some point in her life, she worked at a Sam Goody. I don't know if it was in the Woodbridge Mall or elsewhere, but Sam Goody promoted the hell out of it and said, she used to work for Sam Goody. And Sam Goody,
I
Soraya,
wonder if she worked for Sam Goody when I switched over to Sam Goody
I don't know.
from Record Clown.
But I got to tell you, nobody knows she's got a second album out. It's better than the first. I gave it a listen. Definitely better than the first. So, but no, I put all my Jersey stuff away. But I will say this, because when you think of Jersey,
Yeah.
you think of Bruce.
Yeah.
Okay. Not from Jersey, but Steven Van Zandt,
Yes.
part of Bruce's crew and so forth.
Little Steven and the Disciples of Soul.
Right. He has got a documentary out. And if
About
you
himself?
have not, what?
About himself?
You laugh.
I'm not laughing.
No, but you're like, about it. I watched this documentary because I was curious, because I remember he was in Bruce.
Yeah.
And then I remember the Disciples of Soul because he had Gene, the bass player, Gene Benoit. Is that the guy from
John,
the place?
yeah, Jean yeah,
Yeah,
J.N. Beauvoir.
something like that. Yeah, he was with him.
Who is he part of?
He was with the Plasmatics,
Plasmatics. That's right. That's right. He was with the Plasmatics.
and he moved over with Little Steve. And I remember Little Steve and the Disciples. So I remember the song.
Yeah.
Seeing the video, and I was just like,
What was the name of that song? I forgot.
couldn't tell you. Didn't stick.
Little Steven.
But then I loved his character in Paulie Walnuts in The Sopranos. I thought he was great in The Sopranos. So in my mind, if they're going to make a documentary about Stephen Van, I am curious of all as all hell is exactly what can you do? What have you done to justify a documentary? I mean, am I going to be watching old Bruce concert and Sopranos old? No, this man had done so much for so many people. This needs to be checked out. He had the song Sun City. He collaborated with a whole bunch of people going against the resort, the Sun City Resort. You need to check that out. But unfortunately, he's not from Jersey. But Bruce is. And it was interesting as all hell because they mentioned the Stone Pony. And it's pretty much him and Bruce and Southside Johnny built that place and saved it. You need to check that out. You get a chance, you get some time. Don't watch it, if you're tired and you need to go. No. Chisel some time out and give it a view. Outstanding. I'm not going to rent out and buy the man's albums, but more importantly, I respect the shit out of this guy.
I think it was Voice of America was the solo record that
well, he made several solo albums.
Well, he did several, but I think that was the one that we saw
on MTV.
Yeah, the one we saw on MTV.
That and I saw that video and the Sun City video.
Yes, exactly.
And the whole story about the Sun City song, unbelievable. But also, they talk about the Sopranos. That in itself, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying you know
who hung with Miss Effects hung with him.
Really?
Yep. They were launching a in Brookdale Community College, which is affiliated with Rutgers now. They were launching I'm gonna believe it's like oh my God, like a School of Rock kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he had the backing of some major artists and Mark Weiss, the wise man, of course, the great photographer. And because Christine was back at school at that point in time and she had worked a lot on the projects for this, she was invited by her teacher to attend. And of course, being a journalist for Total Order magazine and having the show here and everything like that, she hung out with him, and Carmine was there. Carmine Appice, a piece was there. I say still Appice, but Carmine was there in support. Mark Weiss, the Weiss man who took all like the most famous photographs in rock and roll history, he was there. So yeah, she got a picture taken with all, and cuddling up with Steven Van Zandt and Steven's support dog, this little pug thing he carried like a purse the whole time. He was in a freaking bathrobe. I'm not gonna say that the guy, you're showing up at an event like this and stuff like this, and you got a robe on, and you got your doggy with you. To each his own, but
it's rock and roll.
You got sometimes you got to put the dog down. You know what I'm saying? Not that I meant to say kill him. So stop thinking that. I don't mean it that way. I mean, let the dog lay down. Leave it back at home. You don't have to bring it to the art studio and, have it be part of it, unless everybody, oh, look, he's so cute. Look at him. Dogs are a great way to meet chicks. Put it that way.
But definitely take some time out. It's not as boring as you might think it is. And you definitely get hooked in. And he has just done so much for music, so much, and that I have a new appreciation for him. It really, really good. And just I like the way he talked and everything. It was great. But yeah.
So we were talking since we were around this, conversation about great bands and so many bands. We were talking a lot about Danny Roselle and the bands in Union, American Angel, Trickster, stuff like that. But I have to tell you, I was before Slippery When Wet, I was a big Bon Jovi fan. I loved the first two records. The sense of melody, pop, punch, had it all. It was like Kiss rolled up into one. Had the same kind of vibe, hard driving but yet melodic. It was good radio stuff. Runaway was, of course, a classic. You hear those keyboards kick in. So I was a fan. I watched him, and what I had an appreciation for is they wanted it. When you saw them open up for bands like Kiss, and I saw them open up for them and the Scorpions. I saw them open up for Rat on the Invasion of Your Privacy tour, and they worked at it. They earned it. And when they finally broke through with Slippery When Wet, I went to the New Year's Eve show with Cinderella opening, another band that was working at it and wanting it. But I saw these guys, and I was like, this is hard. They were hardworking. So I could not sit there and say that I did not like them. They weren't writing pop crap. They were writing melodic rock songs, which when they got in with Desmond Child, that they started writing pop crap. It made them multi bazillionaires, but never got to see Rat or the Fix. Would have loved to have seen both. Let me tell you, CJ, we're going to talk 80s and probably play some new wave at some point in time. We'll go back to that, but I happen to love the Fix. Never was a fan of Rat. Saw Rat live. They were horrible. I saw them on the Invasion of Your Privacy. I think I walked out 73/4 of the way through the show. It was just boring and loud. It wasn't even a good loud. They cranked the highs and the mids. They had no bottom end to their sound. And Bon Jovi blew them off the stage, and that's why they kicked Bon Jovi off, because Bon Jovi blew up as soon as they were on that tour. When they released Slippery When Wet, they were on tour supporting Rat, and then Slippery got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then they threw them off the tour. But the Fix, let me tell you something. The Fix is a great band. You go through their catalog. We'll talk about that a little bit more in depth in the future. But the Fix is a great, great band. Very underrated. The guitar work in the Fix is amazing. The songwriting in the Fix is amazing. Yeah, see, Chris, it's the same thing. Saw Rat live. It was piercing, horrible. Exactly. It's like their tour, their guy working the board on their tours was horrible. The mids and the highs were just jacked up on the board. You couldn't hear any bottom end. It was horrible. There was no meat on the bone, so to speak. But I did see there was when they released 7800 Fahrenheit. There was a show. Reach the Beach is a great album, CJ. When they did a launch show or warm up show at a place called Great Adventure, which is our local theme park here in New Jersey, in Jackson, New Jersey. And they played a place called the Great Arena, which still exists. I found out, which is very, very cool. And there's still bands that play there, which is also very, very, very cool. So with the cost of a ticket to the park, which at that time was $17 to get into the park, you could ride a few rides for the rest of the day. And at 7:00, you were treated to a concert. And it just happened to be Bon Jovi. Well, we all left school, drove the 45 minutes to Jackson, and paid our $17. Well, it was after 4:00. There was an after 4:00 fee, and you can get into the park for $9.99. So for $9.99, we went into Great Adventure. We ran a couple rides and then got online for the show, and we were on the floor for Bon Jovi. You know, it's a little crappy arena. Probably holds 7,000 people, tops. And it was like old stage, old sound system and everything like that. And these guys played from 7 to 8 and tore it up. But then they did another show. They did a show at 10:00, and they would end it at 11:30. So the 10:00 show, which was cool, was done in a pouring, warm rainstorm. Like it was torrential, but the rain was warm. It was like, you could sit in it. It's like taking a warm shower. And they were hungry. And man, they came out and it was pouring rain and they just didn't care. And it was balls to the wall, rock and roll, straight up. It was energy, and they were on and they nailed it. No backing tracks, none. The 4-part harmony were nailed. Everybody was on point and they were hungry. And that's when you saw a band want it. It made me love that band. Now, the rain got so bad. Yes, it was lightning and everything like that. And all of the bleachers in the back around the center surrounding the arena, in the middle of the floor was all kinds of dirt and stuff like that, because they have chariot races in the daytime. This place, here was lightning, and we're hanging out with water, and we're standing on aluminum bleachers. So this is not good. But it was, we brought in some of our own libations. We kind of snuck them in. So we were having a good old time. And there was me, my guitar player, at that point in time, a good friend who was kind of acting like a, kind of like a manager slash, concierge for the band and stuff like that. This is grade school. And one of the girls that we were hanging out, so to speak. And there was 4 of us, and we literally were like having such a good time in the pouring rain, and we're like the only ones in the back of, like, completely in the back of the arena, because everyone went down to the floor, and we're literally, our feet are banging on, we're stamping, we're like putting dents in this, in the seating. And he would, we're making noise throughout the song too. We were pretty obnoxious. And exactly. And so he would, when he was getting to the couple of the encores, he said he wants to thank everybody for coming out tonight and everybody for rocking out. And you crazy motherfuckers in the back, and we were the only people standing back there. So we knew for the four of us, we were forever known as the crazy motherfuckers in the back that were making all the noise and loving every minute of it. And so in the pouring rain and the lightning storm, I sat there for 90 minutes, and he ended with Breakdown by Tom Petty
Okay.
and knocked it out of the freaking park. That's when that band meant something to me. Slippery When Wet came. I was like, oh yeah, next step. Awesome. And then I heard, I mean, You Give Love a Bad Name kind of fell in line with the first two records. Then I heard living on a Prayer, and I went, oh. Then I heard then I heard a couple of the other songs. Oh. All right. So raise your hands, right in line. Right in line.
In Spaceballs.
But I really want to play a song before we get back to it and then put a capper on it, because I really feel like I need to play a song. So one that they opened with this, and it absolutely blew my doors off.
Okay. Well, we're waiting. Off of what album? What side? What track? Is it the R2D2 Christmas song? That was Bon Jovi's very first. A little bit of trivia there.
Take me back, yeah,
Oh, now he's singing.
Tokyo Road. Take me back, yeah, Tokyo Road. Got a night, make it last. Not to remember all my life, I will never forget. In a bar, breathing smoke, smell of whiskey, drinking coke. Times I got to find that. Oh, not the words. Get away, yeah. Take me back, yeah, Tokyo Road. Take me back, Tokyo Road. Yeah, yeah, Tokyo Road. Take me back, yeah, the old road. So dry, bone dry. So dry, I'm bone dry. Can't even talk. Voice is shot, dude. It's totally gone.
Well, I can hear you. So He's getting something. Hell, Baird. So we heard him sing in the air guitar. Now what's he digging out? Yeah.
Okay, so just if I'm putting it up for sale.
What up for sale?
The picture disc.
Okay.
Yep, the Smash Stratus picture his disc is gonna go for sale.
Okay.
Hey, it's up there like people are doing 160, 180. Why not?
Well, yeah.
You know, it's not that I play it.
Yeah.
I like to play the stuff that I have. And I really don't like listening to it.
Yeah, it's yeah. That's
And I get like 5, 6 stuff that I want to listen to.
right.
You know?
Yeah, no. I mean, I have it to complete the set. I haven't taken it out in I don't know how long. So
Okay, we got a couple seconds left. Ooh, what happened? Whoa.
wasn't me. Don't know.
Whoa, what's going on there? Oh, the end of the song. Shit. What the hell? Yeah, we're just banging out. We're back on live, by the way, Joe.
Okay, yeah. We are in bang. You're
The
banging
end of that,
out.
all of a sudden, it's just started backing up and gonna go, wait a minute, whoa, thank God it was the end of the song, or I'd be like freaking out. But yeah, you guys got the gist of that. Look at it. Look at CJ, man. You dude, that's it. We lost Tokyo World, yes. That's that's the dude from Lost Boys, except
yeah,
a lot
the
older.
saxophonist.
Yeah, but a lot older, dude. Look at that's him now. That ain't him back then. That's for sure. There's a lot of skin there, man.
Oh.
He's looking a little rough.
Well, I'm sure the band Manowar isn't performing in loincloths anymore. So, hey, Father Time will do that to you.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, now he's digging. Oh, okay. What's he digging out?
I wanted to show you something that I.
Yeah, everybody tell me what.
What?
Nothing. Hey, what? Coffee?
No, couple things that I picked up.
Uh-oh.
I got this one from Miss Effects because she loves this movie. So I had to find out this one in vinyl.
Dude, love that movie.
Yeah.
We've Never Danced.
Yep. We've never
I have
danced.
that album.
Yep. So I told her.
Great song.
Yep.
Nice little sleeper hit.
And this was just sitting in there. This next one was just sitting in there. I was shocked.
Ah. Well, you know what?
I was like, cool. So the reason why CJ posts that in there, I'm like, no shit. I just picked up the Lost Boys on vinyl. So I'm going like, holy crap. That's Tim Capello.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because of
I still believe.
because of the way the industry is now with music, it's a shame because now soundtracks don't exist anymore. Who wants to buy a soundtrack? Nobody buys soundtrack,
Yeah.
And it's a shame because I love buying soundtracks. And it's I'm not going to go down that pit, but yeah, Made in Heaven was love that movie.
Great movie.
And that song, the bass line in it and everything.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Still can't find Satisfaction on vinyl. It was never released on vinyl.
So, I think the bigger question is, why are you looking for Satisfaction?
I love the love theme for Satisfaction. It's just a great piece that was written. Just love it. It's encapsulation. The other one is which I'm actually going to buy because I found it and it's only guys only charged me like $10-$11 was the Stealing Home soundtrack.
Oh, Mark Harmon, Jodie Foster, and Harold Ramis.
And Harold fucking Ramis.
Yes. Saw that in the theater.
The man. I gotta admit. Okay, so I says, you saw the last Ghostbusters, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay, so when he came back for his and appeared in front of his daughter,
Oh,
you cried.
I I did not cry.
Oh, you're such a liar.
No, dude.
You
I tell you what.
cried. Come on.
I tell you what. Went to the movies over the weekend. Saw Beetlejuice. But
All right, all
they
right, all
had
right, all right.
no, no.
Hold on, hold on. You did what without me?
Um, Went and saw Beetlejuice. Dude.
We got to work on our communication.
Yeah. Well, regardless, they had a preview for the movie about Christopher Reeve. Watch the trailer. There wasn't a dry eye in the theater.
Oh, the Superman thing
Yes.
with Christopher. Yeah, that I saw. That I didn't
Holy.
see it, but I saw the trailer for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
No, I just just the trailer for the Christopher Reeve thing. I was a basket case. I was a basket case.
It's yeah. But when Howard Ramos, it wasn't a Sabi, it was a good. They did right. They did right by this.
Nah, dude, I was crying.
No, I well,
I was crying, man.
well,
You
well
just all of a sudden he sees it, and he's in front of his wife and he's in front of his daughter.
right.
Come on, man. Come on. How do you not?
I they
How do you
it
not?
was tastefully done. It was done
Oh
well.
no, it was definitely tastefully done. Double
Yes.
for pleasure. That's not a bad idea either. Double but all right, so
I tell you what, I was
you
listening to something real quick, and this will be real quick. Unfortunately, I don't have the details because I was driving.
yeah.
But apparently, speaking of Jersey bands, Trickster is playing with Enough's Enough and Pretty Boy Floyd.
That's incorrect. If you look there, the asterisk, both Pretty Boy Floyd and Enough's Enough will not be at the show in North Jersey.
Oh, okay.
It
They were
won't.
playing
They won't. It's
again.
just going to be one other band and probably another support band and Steve and PJ doing Trickster. It's not the whole band and Gus ain't
Trickster Acoustic.
there. And no, it's Trickster Electric, but it's just
All
this.
right.
Yeah, it's just this guy playing drums. The same guy who does the acoustic set does play an electric
All
set.
right.
And for the electric version of Trickster now, and Pete Pete doesn't bother with them.
Well, I heard, I just, like I said, I was driving and I heard it, and that was several hours ago, and I forgot about it. But 2 days from now, I'll remember it all. So that's how that works.
Okay, so now that one of us has seen Beetlejuice, worth it?
Yes. Yes.
As is, did they try with the advance of technologies? Did they use it to cheapen the brand or enhance the brand?
They used it to enhance,
Okay.
but also keep in mind they had to kill off one cast member.
They had to kill off a cast member.
Yes. Because that cast member has got he's arrested. He's on a list. He took some bad pictures. So they had to kill him off. So it's Jeffrey Jones, the father, the principal from Ferris Bueller.
Okay. All right. This is so bad for me right now, and I'm having just a very, very bad media moment right now.
That's okay.
Why don't I know this story?
It I don't think it's a brand new story, but something like that you don't want to talk about all the time.
Well,
And also
what he got caught with what?
photographs.
Pictures?
He hired He
He's a
hired,
pedio? He's a pedio?
yeah.
Oh, fuck him then. Bullshit.
Um,
That's bullshit.
yeah, you can look it up.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, but
The guy's a scumbag. That's all. Scumbag. Gotcha.
okay, but so they had to kill him off, but they covered themselves well. So that
Huh.
made no sense. They had to kill him off, but definitely
Well, now that you killed it for the people that did,
no, everybody knows.
that they killed him off
Well,
in
yeah,
the
it's not
movie.
like listen, it's not like it's not like
Why don't you
the
just
Empire
spill it?
twist.
Right. Well, you could spill the rest of it.
No, it just in the film they killed him off. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else about the movie, but we enjoyed it. We laughed hysterically. And
Big mouth.
musically, it was spot on. So,
Danny still did the.
oh yeah.
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 Elfman. Absolutely. It's the only way you could do that. You have to have Elfman do it.
Oh, Danny's good at doing soundtracks for movies like that because I bought the Best of Elfman CD set decades ago. And you're like, yeah, you got Mars Attacks and you got Batman, but then he does a soundtrack like Summersby, and it's not Danny Elfman. And I'm like, what? No, no. But definitely those movies, the soundtracks are great. He did the soundtrack to the ever so popular remake of the Planet of the Apes. But no, the soundtrack definitely good. And yes, it was Elfman.
Kind of crazy how that woman, and we know we're going over time, so we'll probably wrap things up in just a few minutes. But how Winona has resurrected her career over the past 7 years. I mean,
Yeah.
here's a woman that was getting arrested for shoplifting.
Yes.
I mean, how bad is it that you're in all these movies and all of a sudden you got to shoplift? Rotten Tomatoes, by the way, gave it's got 7 out of 10 from IDB, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it 78. So that's actually pretty good if you're getting 78 from Rotten Tomatoes. And now, obviously, Stranger Things really started to bring her back, and now, with this, she'll be back essentially.
And she was she was there when Tim Burton got his star on the Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
And you
So,
should listen to that speech because it was really, really nice, really touching.
welcome to Winter River.
And
So,
yeah,
so I have to ask
Keaton,
you, was Otho there?
no, he passed away in real life.
He did.
Yeah, Otho died, I think, sometime around 2010 or so. Unfortunately, that actor has been gone for quite some time.
Glenn Shadix. Yeah, it's 2010.
Yeah, he was in Planet of the Apes, but
Yeah, Glenn Shadix. Wow, Bill Shadix, born Bill Shadix, when became Glenn Shadix. Yeah.
it was definitely worth seeing. But yeah,
What? Shadix underwent surgery to provide relief to an ankle which he broke while filming. Subsequently, he had mobility problems and used a wheelchair. On September 7, 2010, Shadix was found dead in his home. He
oof,
fell in the kitchen at his condominium in Birmingham, Alabama, and died of blunt trauma. Are you shitting me? That's how Otho died. That's how Otho buys it.
yeah.
That is wow. Holy shit. Wow. Did not know. Did not know.
It could be worse. Could be like my cousin Walter. He broke his neck.
But did you hear how? I could never reach.
But definitely, by all means, take some time out and go
Yeah,
check it out.
I will. I will. What do you want to tee up for next week?
Uh, more thinking. I don't know. National Flag Day.
Hmm?
National Flag Day.
Yeah. Couple things. Guess what I just found out recently?
That I'm very good looking.
No, we just found out, matter of fact, real recently, due to uh things that happened in the family years ago. We found my real grandfather's paperwork. Um,
Okay.
Never met the man. Met my uncle, but my grandfather, well, we did not know. Uh, Finds out that I'm Irish.
No.
Dude, here I'm thinking it's Italian and it's Russian, actually, believe it or not, from my dad's side. But from my mom's side, we didn't know. She was basically English. But
Right.
what's going on? There was this other, obviously situation and thing, sailors, how things are. And lo and behold, we got to know my grandfather, through my uncles, who one just passed away, unfortunately. But we got together. I said, can we look up the last name? Because what's the origin of the last name? Sure enough, look it up. And sure enough, it says it's of English, but mostly Irish descent. So here I am going, holy shit. All this time I'm thinking, what? And I was like, cool. Hey,
But
cool.
again, it makes it even more because when you went across the pond the first time, you absorbed all that stuff. You took all that in. It wasn't like Chevy Chase at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
You absorbed that, and
Yeah.
I remember, like, oh, at the gathering we went at, like,
Mhm.
careful with the hat, it's from the mother country. And I mean, you just took to it, and so now it just makes it, I don't know, legit, legal.
Well, now I've been doing a little bit more research this time, but it's the reason why I'm going back in 3 weeks.
Yeah, but
So
you're all about your.
gotta get, what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? I can tell you what we're gonna do.
Oh, tell us what we're going to do.
This will be what? Let me see if 9 o'clock is what over there. Nine, nine. Let me see. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 3 o'clock.
You're going to call somebody.
Boys and girls, guess what we're gonna do?
To try to do.
We're gonna try. No, I'll be up. I'll just grab a couple perks and just hang out at the Maryborough and just plug myself in, and away we go. We might do a show while I'm away.
If we can, we will.
If we can, we will. If I can get tone, if I can get a good connection, which is where I'm staying on the Wednesday, I believe that I can. That would be the Grand Canal. We're flying in. Yes, it'll be the Grand Canal before I leave. So that place actually has really good. So from Dublin, Ireland. How about this, guys? While you guys are hanging out, we're going to go. Probably it'll just be the YouTube, because I won't have all the in studio equipment. But at least from the YouTube, I will try to bring a headpiece with a mic, and we will do our show YouTube from the YouTube version, because I'll already have a Zoom all ready to go. And I will try to do that from Dublin, Ireland, on, let me see, that would be the 8th or the 9th. Let me confirm. Let me see that day come up there. Probably a little hungover and jet lag, but actually the funny thing is that I'll be coming from what do you call it? What's the bar? Fibber McGee's in Dublin, the only rock club in Dublin, Fibber McGee's. So let me take a look at this. October 9th. It'll be the 9th of October. You guys might get a show from me live from Dublin, Ireland on the 9th. That would be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
That'd be kind of cool. I won't be sounding as good as I sound right now, because I won't have all of the, I won't be in the studio, obviously, to broadcast from, but we can hook up the YouTube. So if we could do that and get a good quality tone.
Yeah.
3:00 in the morning, I'll just be coming in from Fibber McGee's all kinds of busted. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Chris says that would be sick. So you know what, guys, for you guys, if I can get good tone, and it's a great hotel. The Grand Canal is a great hotel in Dublin, and it's high end. They got a lot of amenities. So if we get four, yeah, if it's 4:15 right now, yeah, exactly. It'll be about 3 a.m. that we do the show. Maybe we do it for an hour. We talk about, hey, if you guys want to ask questions while I'm there, I would love to do that. I would love to do that for you guys. Ask us questions while I'm there. What's it like? What's going on? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that would be a trip. And it would give me a reason to bring my laptop.
There you go.
There you go.
That and to watch a movie on the flight.
Several movies. Several movies. I just got to figure out how that would work though. I think I might bring the small one. I think if I bring the work one, it's big. I just don't think I might bring the work computer.
See if we can do it.
Yep.
If we can, great. If not, enjoy your,
But I think I think we will. I think I'll make it a thing.
Okay.
I think I'll make it a thing. Let me cue it up here. I'm just going to do the audio one version. So otherwise, we're good to go. I want to thank everybody for joining us. It's been a really, really cool conversation on many different levels today. We went all around the board. We will get back to you guys and tell you what we're going to talk about next week. There's a lot open. There's a lot of things to talk about. So we'll just keep that. And if you guys want a topic, if you guys want to talk about want us to talk about a topic and bring a few things up, you can let us know. Text us.
Yeah.
Email us to WTF@WTFcast.com. That's WTF, what the F, at whatthefcast.com. And either me and Joe will answer. Okay. So
yeah.
we both have access to the email. And so if you guys got an idea, send it to us. We'll put it on there. No problem. No matter where you're from, you want us to play a song, send it there. We'll be glad to play it. All right. And talk about it. All right, guys. So you guys have a great rest of the week. We will I'm having a great time with this show, guys. So
yes,
I'm already can't wait till next week and what we said to talk about 11:18, and I'm about to get yelled at. So a long day tomorrow. Long day. This voice is so shitful right now.
No.
No. Wait. No, CJ says big Manchester United fan. So I have to know the time difference for the games. Okay, bands that have kept going after a death. Chris says bands that have kept going after a death. And CJ's looking for Manchester. Oh, hey, CJ, I got a news for you. I'm a big Red fan. Yes. I do, and when I get over there, I might pick myself up a Liverpool's sweater. I might be wearing that sometime soon. Yes, I'm a fan of the Big Red. So, any thoughts before I?
Yeah, I'm all thought out.
Drink a gallon of water. Yeah, you were cruising tonight, my friend.
Well.
You were cruising tonight, and you were going deep. You were deep. You say we were deep diving. There was meat on the bone with you tonight.
That was just the tip of the iceberg. We can, yeah. I don't. So, but yes, no.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I do like this guys from Liverpool. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize. But I did tell you this, CJ. I did see a friendly at the link with Man U. Yes, I did see Man U. And I even have a signed jersey from the entire team from 2017 that I actually gave to my son-in-law who lives in South Carolina, who's a huge fan. So I did have a jersey. He now has it. It's part of the family heirloom, but I did have the entire Man U team completely signed. And now it resides with my son-in-law in South Carolina. So, but just so you know that I'm a pretty big fan, and don't get me going about when it's World Cup time, because I'm just goo-goo. And yes, I actually root for Germany.
Das ist gut.
Yes.
Wunderbar.
Love, when it comes to World Cup, it's Deutschland. Danke. Danke, Deutschland. Great team. Always. Although not this past World Cup, but still love them. Still love Deutschland. Love that team. If put it to, if Ireland had a decent team and made it back, I'd probably be rooting for Ireland, but I have followed Germany now for 5 World Cups, and I love that team. There you go.
Wunderbar.
And I got to tell you, I was gonna get the team jersey. I love their team jersey. Awesome. It's really, really cool. So now I have to go drink some water.
Yes.
Guys, take care, man.
Take care, all.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please just feel free to share all the stuff. Don't forget, I got more interviews that I'm pulling out of the vault. 10 more that we're going to get to you guys before I leave for Ireland. So please check them out, share them up. They're very, very, very cool. And we appreciate all the support that you guys give us, and to keep on going. We love doing this. We have a great time. Like I said, this is quality time that I get to spend with my great friend, and I wouldn't trade it. So God bless you all, and take care of yourselves. We will see you next week.
See you next week, all.
Peace.